Our planet is full of unusual places that look so bizarre it's kind of difficult to believe they even exist, and in many ways these places show the true variety that the world has to offer, from landscapes that look like alien worlds to places that harbor paranormal phenomenon. It's time to count down the top 15 strangest places in the world. Let's start with number 15, the Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. The Danakil Depression, which is in the northeastern part of Ethiopia, is one of the most extreme and otherworldly landscapes on Earth. It's often referred to as the cradle of mankind because it's where some of the earliest human fossils have been found. It also holds the record as being one of the hottest places on Earth, based on a year-round average temperature and often reaching more than 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 degrees Celsius. The reason it's such a hostile place is that it's a geological depression that's been formed where three tectonic plates are pulling away from each other, and in many millions of years will be where a new ocean eventually forms. Fissures in the ground means it's volcanically active, and it's known for bizarre sulfur lakes where bubbling, neon-colored pools of acidic water create a strange landscape. It also features some salt flats, sulfur springs, active volcanoes, and colorful mineral deposits. The most surprising thing is that it isn't completely devoid of life. Some resilient species of extremophiles adapt to the harsh environment here, and it's also home to the Afar people who have adapted to the challenging conditions and actually use the land to their advantage, such as by mining for salt. In 2005, an earthquake formed a brand new hypersaline lake there above a tectonic hot spring, which is known as Gateli Pond. With a salinity of 43%, it is currently the saltiest natural body of water on the planet. The entire region shifts and changes like this, and it's believed to be so similar to planets elsewhere in our solar system and beyond that it is of particular interest to astrobiologists to learn how life may be able to evolve in extraterrestrial environments. Number 14, the Painted Cliffs, Tasmania. The Painted Cliffs are a stunning but surprising natural phenomenon that's located on the Maria Island, which is off the eastern coast of Tasmania in Australia. Like along coastlines around the world, the ocean has over millennia worn away at the land. But here, it's revealed stunning patterns and vibrant colors which look like they've been put there on purpose. These patterns in the sandstone rock are the result of a combination of mineral deposits and iron oxide staining that have been exposed by wind and erosion, and they display a kaleidoscope of colors, ranging from deep reds and oranges to soft pinks and purples. What makes the site even more impressive is the interplay between the cliffs and the crystal clear water of the Tasman Sea, where during low tide visitors can walk along the coastline and near to the Painted Cliffs to look more closely at the intricate details of these rock formations. While there's clearly an aesthetic appeal to the cliffs, they're also an important site for research into the geological history of the area because the layers of sedimentary rock tell a story of the island's ancient past. It's so important that the whole island is a protected national park, and it's home to a diverse ecosystem and rare species that need to be preserved. Number 13, Magnetic Hill, India. There are a number of places you can visit around the world where things don't exactly work in the way you might expect. If you visit the North or South Poles, for example, a compass will go haywire, and you've got to use other forms of navigation. But these aren't the only places where there appear to be magnetic peculiarities. Magnetic Hill, which is located in the northern region of India, in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. It's a strange and natural phenomenon that's baffled tourists and scientists alike for years, and it's renowned for its seemingly bizarre ability to defy the laws of gravity and pull vehicles uphill without any external force. People travel from far and wide to see this thing for themselves, and you'll find plenty of videos online of it happening. The truth, though, is that the weird occurrences at Magnetic Hill are nothing more than an optical illusion that locals are more than happy to keep a mystery to attract tourists. It's all to do with the structure of the surrounding landscape and the way that the road has been laid out. And while it may appear as if cars, buses, and even bicycles are moving uphill on their own, the reality is that it's a clever trick of perception. In fact, the road is sloping downhill, but the surrounding terrain creates an illusion that makes it seem like an uphill climb. This is what creates the gravity-defying sensation that leaves everyone who sees it both bewildered and amused. This magnetic hill phenomenon is made all the more magical by the breathtaking backdrop of the Himalayan mountains. So yeah, it's worth visiting for the stunning natural beauty of the region, as well as seeing that magnetism too. With clear blue skies, rugged terrain, and crisp mountain air, it's the perfect route to take through the Leh Ladakh region. Number 12, the Tianzi Mountains, China. China's got some of the most stunning natural landscapes in the entire world, but possibly the strangest of all are the Tianzi Mountains. It's found in the northern part of the Hunan province. They look like they've been lifted from the pages of a fairy tale, featuring slender, towering peaks with jagged spires and lush greenery. The name Tianzi translates to Son of Heaven in Chinese, and these mountains are often referred to as the Mountains of the Son of Heaven. Rising to heights over 4,000 feet or 1,200 meters, they're part of the Wulingwan Scenic Area, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that also includes the famous Zhangjiajie National Park. They also may seem familiar if you haven't been there, because this mountain range inspired the mountainscape designs of Avatar. As with the fictional ones on Pandora, one of the most unusual features of the Tianzi Mountains is the sea of clouds that often covers the peaks, creating a mystical and almost spiritual sensation. Visitors of the Tianzi Mountains can explore a network of hiking trails and viewpoints up through the clouds that provide incredible views, with one of the most famous viewpoints being the Avatar Hallelujah Mountain, which was renamed in honor of the film. It's also home to a diverse range of flora and fauna, including many rare and endemic species. It's a sanctuary for nature lovers and a true gem in China's landscape. Number 11. Jellyfish Lake, Palau. Now, normally the first sign of a jellyfish would be enough for people to get out of the water, but there's a place that attracts people from around the world specifically because it's home to such a large population of them. The imaginatively named Jellyfish Lake, which is on Eli Mauk Island in Palau, offers a one-of-a-kind underwater experience. Within its stunningly clear waters, there are millions of golden jellyfish. These aren't, though, jellies that you need to worry about, because none of these possess the ability to sting you. It's something that they lost through evolution because of the lack of natural predators in the lake and the abundance of algae for them to feed on, and this makes swimming with them a surreal and serene experience. Snorkelers and divers can glide effortlessly through the waters of the lake, surrounded by a pulsating sea of gently drifting jellyfish, which is a bizarre but strangely peaceful experience. The lake's unique ecosystem has attracted the interest of scientists and researchers who study the evolution and biology of these unusual jellyfish. However, the delicate balance of the ecosystem in Jellyfish Lake is fragile, and there have been periods of population decline, which have been blamed on human-caused factors like changes in water quality and temperature. Due to this ecological sensitivity, regulations are in place to protect Jellyfish Lake, with visitors being required to undergo a thorough briefing before entering, which emphasizes the importance of not touching or disturbing the jellyfish so as to maintain the delicate balance of this extraordinary phenomenon. Number 10. Bryce Canyon, Utah. The most famous canyon in the US and probably the world is the Grand Canyon. But while it gets most of the attention, there are many more that are equally, if not more impressive to explore. Bryce Canyon, for example, which is in southwestern Utah, isn't exactly a canyon in the traditional sense, but is instead a series of natural amphitheaters that are carved into the eastern edge of the Posongin Plateau and are known for their peculiar rock formations called hoodoos. The hoodoos at Bryce Canyon are the main attraction, and they're created through a combination of frost weathering and erosion. Over millions of years, water, ice, and wind have chiseled away at the soft sedimentary rocks, leaving behind a surreal landscape of spires, fins, and arches. The colors of the rock formations range from deep reds to delicate pinks and oranges, and are particularly vibrant during sunrise and sunset, making these the best times of the day to visit. Protected within the Bryce Canyon National Park, there are plenty of trails and viewpoints to explore this unique terrain. The Rim Trail provides a stunning panoramic view of these amphitheaters, while hikes like the Queen's Garden and Navajo Loop take you down to the heart of the hoodoo-filled amphitheaters. The starry night skies at Bryce Canyon are also a major draw for astronomers and stargazers, as it's been designated an international dark sky park because of an almost complete lack of light pollution. It's a place that's full of life, including a range of plant and animal species such as mule deer and pronghorn antelope. It's also an important historical location, as there's evidence that humans lived there many thousands of years ago, with Native American tribes including the Paiute and the Anasazi having ancestral ties to the area as well. This means that along with geological interest, it is particularly important to respect and protect this sacred land, and this should allow the canyon to preserve its specialness for many generations to come. Number 9. Caño Cristales, Colombia. Caño Cristales, which is commonly called the River of Five Colors, is a natural wonder located in the Serranía de la Macarena National Park in the Meta region of Colombia. The river is considered one of the most surprising and beautiful in the world, and it's celebrated for its breathtaking display of vibrant colors during a specific time of the year. It's really only been known about since the late 1960s when a group of cattle farmers stumbled across it. It's 62 miles or 100 kilometers long and is a tributary of the Guayabero River, and in an extremely remote location. What makes it special, though, is a phenomenon that happens between July and November each year when the water conditions are just right. During this time, a combination of factors, including the presence of endemic aquatic plants called Macarena clavigera, the clear water, and the right amount of sunlight, transform the riverbed into a kaleidoscope of colors. The plants, with their vibrant red and pink hues, become even more brilliant during this time, contrasting beautifully with the crystal clear waters and the lush greenery of the surrounding jungle. The riverbed also features plants with shades of yellow, green, blue, and black that combine to create a surreal landscape that's further enhanced by the ripples in the water. Visitors travel to Caño Cristales to witness this natural spectacle firsthand, and there are guided tours that take travelers on hikes along the riverbanks and allow them to wade through the shallow, pristine waters to get an up-close view of the vibrant underwater garden. Like with other fragile environments like this, though, strict regulations are in place to minimize the human impact. You're not, for example, allowed to go anywhere near the river on your own and must be part of a guided tour and agree to adhere to responsible behavior when you're there. Number 8. The Nazca Lines, Peru. The Nazca Desert in southern Peru is a vast and inhospitable place that, usually for a desert, is also prone to flooding. But it's probably most famous for the fact that etched into the desert floor are a series of ancient geoglyphs known as the Nazca Lines. Created by the Nazca culture between 2,500 and 1,500 years ago, it's one of the most mysterious historical sites in South America. And still, to this day, it's not entirely clear how they were made to such precision or what their purpose was. The Nazca Lines consist of over 800 figures, including geometric shapes, animals, plants, and human-like figures. They are huge, with some stretching up to 1,200 feet or 370 meters in length, and the best way to see them is from the air. This is the first strange thing about them because, as far as we know, the Nazca people didn't have the ability to fly, so why they designed these images for this vantage point really isn't clear. Some theories suggest they were used for astronomical or religious purposes, while others propose that they were elaborate irrigation or fertility symbols. The other interesting thing about the lines is that had they been created almost anywhere else, then they would have long been gone due to erosion and vegetation growth. But the arid desert with very little rainfall has meant that they've been preserved for many centuries. They do, however, now face threats like never before because of modern-day human activity like urbanization, mining, and the potential damage caused by tourism. Tourists from around the world flock to this region to witness these colossal artworks for themselves, with flights over the Nazca Lines offering a unique perspective that allows you to truly appreciate the immense scale and intricacy of them. Ground-level observation points also provide insights into these designs, and conservation efforts and UNESCO World Heritage status have been instrumental in safeguarding these delicate geoglyphs. Moving on to number 7, the confluence of the Rhone and the Arve rivers, Switzerland. Just when you thought you knew how things work, there's almost bound to be something in the world that makes you think again. And there's a very strange place in Geneva in Switzerland that does just that. The city is built on two rivers, the Rhone and the Arve, and it's there that the two merge for the first time. Normally, when two streams of water meet one another, you'd expect them to combine. But that's not at all what happens, and instead, the water from either river remains noticeably separate. To understand why this happens, you need to follow each river back to its source. The Rhone River originates from sources in the Swiss Alps, and it's filtered as it flows along the route to give crystal-clear turquoise waters. Arve River, on the other hand, is fed by melting glaciers of the Mont Blanc Massif and carries a distinctive milky gray color because of the fine sediment it carries from the mountains. Both rivers therefore flow at different speeds because of their different origins and contain vastly different quantities of minerals, which alters their density. When the waters of the two rivers meet, it's so different that instead of mixing, it separates, and for a time it looks like there are two distinct rivers sharing the same course. This striking contrast is even more pronounced during periods of high water flow, such as during the spring when glaciers melt or after heavy rainfall. It's even stranger that this phenomenon has taken place for so long that either side of the combined river actually behaves differently. The side with water from the Arve releases sediment as the water is slowed down, so is shallower, while the other side erodes the bank and the bed more, so is expanding at a faster rate. The confluence can be seen from various vantage points in Geneva, but one of the most popular spots is the Pont de la Machine, a pedestrian bridge that offers an excellent view. Tourists and locals gather to witness this unique spectacle, which is especially beautiful during sunrise and sunset, when the play of light off the water adds to that mystique. Number 6. The Plain of Jars, Laos. Laos, which is in southeastern Asia, is bordered by Myanmar, China, Vietnam, and Thailand, has its root in the Longshan Kingdom that was once one of the largest kingdoms in the region between the 12th and 18th centuries. It's therefore a place with a rich history and culture that can be seen all over, but the strangest and most unexpected of all can be found in the northern part of the country and is known as the Plain of Jars. Thought to predate Lanshan and potentially be more than 3,000 years old, many thousands of stone jars have been found across the valleys and foothills in at least 90 different sites, ranging in size from small containers to massive monoliths weighing several tons. Most of the jars are made from sandstone, and their exact purpose remains a subject of debate among experts. Most have lip rims, which suggest they were designed to have lids, and a small number of them have been found with the lids still intact. Stone discs, which are different from the lids, have been found in the region too, as have other strange, unusual sculptures that aren't anything like anything that's been found from ancient civilizations that we know about. Some theories suggest that they were used as ancient burial vessels, while others propose that they were used for storing food or as part of a ritual ceremony. Visitors to the Plain of Jars can explore the numerous jar sites, each with its own unique setting. While some sites are easily accessible, others require much more effort to reach, making the journey an adventure in itself. Site number 1 is the most popular and well-preserved, with more than 300 jars and a visitor center, providing insights into the history and archaeology of the site. But there's a major reason why research of the plain is now slow-moving, and why you can't venture far from the established visitor centers. That's because the Plain of Jars has witnessed a tumultuous past, and it was heavily bombed during the Vietnam War. Recently, efforts have been made to clear unexploded ordnance and make the Plain of Jars a safer place to visit for tourists. And as it becomes increasingly accessible, more and more people are traveling to see it for themselves. Number 5. The Yonaguni Monument. Historical monuments are often discovered all around the world that give an added insight into the lives and beliefs of ancient cultures. But occasionally, something is found that truly baffles the experts and could completely change what we know of the history of an area. One such place is the Yonaguni Monument, which is off the coast of Yonaguni Island in Japan's Okinawa Prefecture. First found in 1986 by a group of divers looking for a place to swim with sharks. It's often called Japan's own Atlantis, and it's made up of a series of massive flat-top stone structures and megaliths resting on the seabed, with some reaching depths of up to 100 feet or 30 meters. There's no doubt that they look like man-made architecture, with pyramids and stepped terraces similar to those elsewhere, and the precision with which the rocks appear to have been cut and the alignment of some of the structures have fueled theories suggesting human involvement in their creation. However, this isn't a place that at any point in history is believed to have been above sea level. So just how or why anyone would build structures in this place is a mystery. There is therefore an ongoing debate among geologists, archaeologists, and experts about whether these formations are entirely natural, entirely man-made, or a combination of both. One theory suggests that the Yonaguni Monument is a product of natural geological processes, with supporters of this view pointing to the region's complex tectonic activity, which may have caused the rocks to fracture and erode in a way that mimics human craftsmanship. They argue that the straight edges and right angles observed in some parts of the formation can be explained by natural processes. On the other hand, proponents of the man-made hypothesis argue that the precision and organization of the structures are indicative of human work and couldn't possibly have happened in nature. They also point to the presence of stone tools and carvings that have been discovered in the vicinity, as well as the resemblance of the monument to other ancient structures worldwide. Despite the ongoing debate, the Yonaguni Monument is now a magnet for divers and researchers alike, with scuba enthusiasts being drawn to the site for its stunning underwater landscapes, teeming with marine life, and the opportunity to explore the structures beneath the waves, and researchers hoping to finally prove its origins one way or another. Number 4. Fly Geyser, Nevada. There are a number of places on Earth that look like they should be on the landscape of an alien world instead, but perhaps none as much as Fly Geyser, which is in the Black Rock Desert of Nevada. Known for its striking, multicolored mineral deposits that hardly seem real, perhaps the strangest thing about it is that it isn't exactly natural in origin. Its creation can in fact be traced back to human activity when in 1964 a geothermal drilling project in the area accidentally struck a geothermal pocket while searching for sources of energy. The result was a formation of a man-made geyser that, over the decades since, has constantly released hot water that's rich in minerals like calcium carbonate. These began to accumulate and ultimately formed the cone-like structure of Fly Geyser that we see today. As it is relatively new, the colors of the geyser are continuously changing. The minerals of the water combined with the presence of thermophilic algae and other microorganisms create a spectrum of bright reds, oranges, greens, and blues that paint its surface. Currently, the cone of the geyser stands around 12 feet or 3.7 meters tall, and the water that it releases can reach heights of 5 feet or about 1.5 meters above it. This water cascades down the sides of the cone to create an incredible display, but one that very few people actually get to see in person. That's because access is limited, as it's located on private land, but there are occasional guided tours that allow visitors to get up close and learn about the geyser's history, geology, and the efforts to protect and preserve this unique structure. Number 3. Socotra Island, Yemen. Wherever you go in the world, you'll find different plant and animal species that have evolved in their own ways. But the biodiversity in the regions vary massively depending on the particular place's history. The Galapagos Islands, for example, are so revered because life has evolved separately there from everywhere else, and similarly is the case in Madagascar. But there's only one island that arguably trumps both of them, and it's called Socotra. It's in the Indian Ocean, and it's part of Yemen, and has become renowned for its surreal landscapes, unique flora and fauna, and distinct cultural heritage. The island is home to a large number of plant and animal species that are found nowhere else on Earth, such as the iconic dragon's blood trees and cucumber trees with their unusual shapes, vibrant greenery, and deep crimson sap that oozes from their bark. There are many birds, lizards, and insects too, with a unique species of bat, a rare tarantula, and even some crabs that are unique to the island. In all, it's believed that there are almost 700 endemic species, and while this isn't as many as in the Galapagos, they cover a wider range of biological niches, all of which has been possible because of the island's isolation and high temperatures. The beaches of Socotra are pristine and relatively untouched, with crystal clear waters and white sand, and the landscape also has rugged mountains, deep canyons, and vast plateaus, with the Hagir Mountains, the highest on the island, being particularly stunning. Acknowledging how special and unusual the island is, efforts are underway to try to preserve it, with it being declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008, and restrictions on what can and can't be taken to or removed from the island. In an attempt to help fund this protection, investment has been made in infrastructure to carefully encourage tourism in an eco-friendly way, and the hope is that this will cover the costs of taking care of the natural wildlife and provide enough of an income to those who live there that they don't need to develop more of its landscape. Number 2. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park, Brazil. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park, which is in northeastern Brazil, is a truly bizarre place that, while it looks like a desert, is full of surprises. Among its beautiful rolling white sand dunes, there's a series of crystal clear freshwater lagoons that create a surreal and ever-changing landscape. The name Lençóis Maranhenses translates to bed sheets of Maranhão, in a reference to the sand and the park that covers an area of approximately 383,000 acres. The dunes themselves can reach heights of up to 130 feet or 40 meters and stretch as far as the eye can see. While the dunes are the dominant feature, the park's uniqueness lies in the fact that it harbors thousands of rainwater-filled lagoons nestled within the dunes. These lagoons are formed during the rainy season, which typically happens from January to June when the area receives significant rainfall, and transform the desert-like dunes into a lush oasis. As the dry season returns, the water begins to evaporate, leaving behind picturesque turquoise and emerald green lagoons amid the pristine white sand. This natural beauty attracts nature enthusiasts, photographers, and adventure seekers from around the world, with visitors being able to explore the dunes and lagoons through guided tours, hikes, and dune buggy rides. It's also home to a rich array of wildlife, including various species of birds, reptiles, and small mammals, with the park's unique ecosystem having adapted to the harsh conditions of alternating drought and rain, with many species relying on the temporary lagoons for their long-term survival, but able to go for months on end without water, waiting for the rains to return. Number 1. Montaña de Siete Colores, Peru. South America has countless incredible natural wonders to see, but there's a region in Peru that, at the right time, looks almost impossible to believe. Montaña de Siete Colores, which is also called the Rainbow Mountain, is in the Peruvian Andes near Cusco and displays a glorious array of vibrant colors. This rainbow-hued appearance has been a long time in the making, and it's the result of the fact that the mountain is composed of distinct mineral layers that have been exposed through erosion over millions of years. These layers reveal a wide range of colors, ranging from deep reds, purples, and blues to various shades of green and yellow, and almost looks like if it's been painted by an artist. To add to the mystique of the mountain, it's not exactly an easy place to get to, so by the time visitors see it for themselves, it's like finding a lost treasure. Travelers typically start from the small town of Pitumarca and embark on a challenging hike that covers approximately 3 miles, or about 6 kilometers one way, with a significant altitude gain that can exceed 3,200 feet or 1,000 meters. That high-altitude terrain can make the journey physically demanding, with thin air and unpredictable weather conditions adding to the challenge, and the prolonged exposure to lower oxygen levels can wreak havoc with the mind. The reward, however, is well worth the effort. Upon reaching the summit, visitors are treated to an incredible panoramic view of the multicolored mountain range, with the snow-capped Asangate Peak in the distance. Importantly for any visitors, though, the Rainbow Mountain is located within the Vilcanota mountain range, which is considered sacred by the local Quechua communities. The region is inhabited by indigenous people who have preserved their traditional way of life for centuries, and while there are chances to interact and learn about them, it's vital that visiting the region is done respectfully. To minimize the impact of tourism, sustainable practices are promoted, and this allows local communities to benefit from the tourism industry through responsible tour operators who work closely with them to ensure fair compensation and minimize environmental degradation. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you to our channel members.